I've been a huge fan of the McLaren brand since the company reintroduced themselves to the mainstream market with the MP412C in 2011. I remember binge watching YouTube videos about McLarens, especially YouTubers who own them. I'm obsessed with the styling language of form follows function, where every design element, every crease is there for a technical purpose. It must fit into their end goal of creating the most capable supercar they can. If you're unfamiliar with the brand, McLaren has three distinct product portfolios which they call, or used to call, Sport Series, Super Series and Ultimate Series. But today with their new generation of products, they've streamlined it to be called Supercars, GTS and Ultimate. I guess it helps buyers to choose their next perfect supercar a little bit easier? I don't know. This right here is the McLaren Artura, McLaren's entry-level supercar. Well, I use the term entry-level very loosely because this thing packs 700 horsepower and 720 Nm of torque. This sits below the 750S, but it's not the least powerful McLaren in the stable. They have the GTS that packs 635 horsepower, 630 Nm of torque. The kicker for the Artura, however, is being the smallest engine McLaren, their first V6 and their second plug-in hybrid. If you're in the market shopping for your first supercar or you're thinking of adding another one to your fleet, how does the Artura then make sense to you? My name's Adrian and I'm all about the details, and you're watching WapCar.my. One thing's for sure is that McLarens are always a showstopper with their signature Dihedral doors that opens upwards. If I can leave the doors open every time I park, I will do just that to mesmerize onlookers. Now, hopping into the Artura, it is a very snug and tight fit cabin. But this is the new generation of McLaren cabins. So you no longer get the folding screen display, now it's just a flat digital instrument cluster in front of you. Seats, manual adjustment, but the steering is electronically adjustable, so this is fine. What you need to know about the new generation of McLarens is that it now comes with Apple CarPlay connectivity. The previous McLarens don't come with it. So this transforms the in-car connectivity. It projects your Waze, Spotify and all that through this center screen right here. Parking this Artura is also quite a straightforward affair because it comes with 360-degree camera, which not only projects on the infotainment screen but also on the instrument cluster. Above the instrument cluster, this is where you find the handling and powertrain controls. Just twist it according to Sport, Track, Comfort mode. Over here, this is where your gear lever is at, so you press the buttons for drive, neutral and reverse. McLaren, being a participant of F1 previously in their history, their pedal shifters is a rocker pedal. It maintains the F1 style rocker pedals. What it means is that when you pull the left pedal for downshift, you can also at the same time push it for an upshift. Now this is exactly like what you get in F1 steering wheels. Vice versa on the right pedal, pull for upshift, push for downshift. What else that you need to know in here? It comes with Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system, 12 speakers, as well as 12 color ambient lighting. So right now we have 50% charge on the hybrid battery and we have half tank of fuel. For the brakes, push the start button and it starts off in complete silence. Now, as we move on, this is where the rocker switch for the switching the different instrument cluster display. Tires are still very cold, so we're just gonna take it easy, take it gentle before unleashing all 700 horsepower. Let's go. Alright, as we're setting off, the Artura actually has a lift system, the front lifter kit. So if you're coming up to bumps and all, you can get more approach angle. And right now I'm just setting off in pure electric mode. Complete silence, smooth, quiet, easy. I have the handling and suspension in comfort mode. And it's actually quite a nice ride. At low speeds, the Artura can ride on pure electric mode for up to 33 kilometers. It's juiced by a 7.4 kWh lithium-ion battery pack and takes 2.5 hours to charge from 0 to 80%. So if your home to office commute is under 30 kilometers, you can technically drive this like an EV, charge it back at the office, balik rumah, and continue charging. So McLaren has always been famed for their superior ride and handling, the good balance between of sharpness as well as comfort. But that is in their kind of Super Series models, which they use a hydraulic suspension. This one uses a conventional front double wishbone and rear multi-links, and they have done a fantastic job. Even just cruising along these kind of like rough patches, comfortable, very pliant. How can a supercar be this comfortable? And another immediate realization is how easy is it to drive around. So yes, I know the four corners, you're seated very low, snug, very tight, but it's actually quite manageable. But you still get the very aggressive driving position. You're just seated down low, but outward visibility is actually quite good. Even though the A-pillars are a little bit thick, but it's actually quite okay because the side mirror, there's a huge gap in between. So just approaching out, I'm still driving in pure electric mode. Now, once things have warmed up a little bit, you can toggle the powertrain up, and the 3-litre V6 just wakes up. And now you start off in comfort mode, just to get a hang of it. You can dial it up into sport mode, press the manual button, switch over here, and you just use the rocker pedals itself. And the sound it makes. Even at just 60 kilometers per hour, the sound that it makes is enough to put a big smile on your face. The car is not at all intimidating to drive. Power delivery is very linear, it's very easy. And once the roads open up, and you play with 700 horsepower. Oh. You get this rush of adrenaline every time when you approach the throttle pedal. The hybrid powertrain just fills up the torque gap in between, so every single time you upshift and downshift, there's no lapse in torque. Oh, I can't imagine taking this out on track. How amazing this will feel. But even just on the public roads, try not to be too silly. This is, after all, 700 horsepower. Don't like turn on the traction control and just floor it without a care in the world, because safety first. But you get to have a lot of fun, at the same time still being very safe. And once you approach back into the city at low speeds, you can just very simply dial it back down into electric mode. The engine just shuts down, and you're just coasting along in traffic, just like that, saving you precious fuel in your McLaren Artura. For first-time supercar buyers, I think that the McLaren Artura is a great entry point because it's not overly intimidating to drive, yet it's as thrilling as other full-blown supercars. Other cars that are in the same segment, like the Ferrari 296 GTB and the Porsche 911, they both don't have dihedral doors like this. For experienced supercar owners, I think that the Artura would fit into your garage as a daily supercar, one that doesn't break the bank. It's more fuel efficient, it's cheaper on road tax, you don't have to go overboard on the options, yet it turns heads like other supercars in your garage. And with 160 liters of frunk space, it's more practical than a Porsche 911.